Bambu Studio recommends a bed temperature around 45 degrees for PLA on the cool plate super tack. But what if you could go lower without losing bed adhesion? This is the BIQU Panda Cryo Pro Frostbite Edition, and BIQU were kind enough to send this over to me for testing. It claims you can print PLA with a bed temperature as low as 30 degrees. So today, I'm going to be putting that to the test. I'm going to run a series of bed adhesion tests across different temperatures and then using the lowest one for a real print. I'm going to include a customer's order in this and if it prints clearly at that temperature to see if it actually holds up in the real world. But before we get into the prints, let me quickly show you how to adjust bed temperatures in Bambu Studio. So to set the bed temperature in Bambu Studio, you first need to select your build plate. You can do this by going to the build plate settings and choosing the cool plate super tack. There's a small QR code on this plate itself that corresponds to this profile. And at the moment, Bambu doesn't let you create a new plate profile. So instead, we use a walk around through the filament settings. You click on the three dots and then go into edit. This opens up the filament profile settings. And from here, we scroll down to temperature settings and adjust the bed temperature for the initial layer and the other layers. In my case, I'll be setting both to 40 degrees. And then you click on save to save the profile. I've already created a profile, so I will not be saving. But once you have your profiles saved, you can switch between them as needed. Once you've selected the profile you want, you can slice the model and send it to print. So now that setup is done, let's take a closer look at what this plate is actually designed to do. So what is this plate actually trying to do? Well, the idea is pretty simple. It's built in multiple layers with a top surface designed to grip the filament. So instead of relying on higher bed temperatures, the surface itself is doing more of the work, which means in theory, you can print at a lower temperature and reduce things like warping on larger prints. It's also designed to be more durable with a surface that's easier to maintain over time. But of course, that all sounds good on paper. So let's see how it actually performs. So starting with the baseline, I printed the shapes on the cool plate SuperTack at 45 degrees, and as expected, everything printed successfully. I'll leave a link to the MakerWorks files in the description if you guys want to try this yourself. I then switched over to the Frostbite plate and ran the same shape test at 45 degrees. Again, no issues at all. From there, I started lowering the bed temperature. Now, these are more like torture tests just to see how far the plate can actually be pushed. At 40 degrees, everything still printed perfectly. At 35 degrees, this is where things started to change. I began to notice corners lifting slightly towards the end of the print. At 30 degrees, this became more noticeable. The parts still stayed on the build plate, but adhesion was definitely less consistent. So next, I moved on to the more demanding print. And actually, while I've got your attention, I'm curious, would you want to see me push the cool plate to its limits as well? If you do, drop a call in the comments. So this is the angle test I designed. It's ranging from 45 degrees all the way up to 60 degrees. Again, I'll leave a link in the description. At 40 degrees Celsius, no issues at all. At 35 degrees Celsius, still printed successfully. But at 30 degrees, this is where it failed. It made it most of the way through the print, but the adhesion just wasn't strong enough to hold it to the end. So while it can work at lower temperatures, there's definitely a limit to how far you can push it. So I decided to push it even further and trying to print a real world part at 30 degrees, even though we've already seen where the limits start to show. So starting off, the first layer goes down cleanly, and at that point, everything's looking good. There's no signs of lifting, and adhesion seems solid. As the print continues, it's still holding, which is honestly a good sign at this temperature. And in the end, it actually completes successfully. So this is the final result. Printed at 30 degrees, and overall, it came out really clean. One thing I did notice is the finish on the bottom of the print. It comes out slightly more gloss compared to the more matte finish you get in the cool plate. So that's something to keep in mind depending on the look you're going for. And this is actually a customer's order. So it's a good real world example of how it performs. I've actually been using this plate to print orders for about a month now, and I haven't had any issues. Just for a peace of mind though, I've been setting my bed temperature to 40 degrees, especially as it gets quite cold at night here in the UK. So overall, it can work, but you are definitely pushing the limits at this temperature. So overall, the CryoGrip Frostbite plate does exactly what it's designed to do. It gives you strong adhesion, even at lower bed temperatures. But I wouldn't say it replaces every other build plate. Instead, it feels more like a convenience upgrade, something that gives you a bit more flexibility depending on how you want to print. And if you already own the cool plate, there's no need to rush out and replace it. It still does the job really well. This just gives you another option, especially if you want to run at lower temperatures or have a bit more flexibility when it comes to adhesion. That said, for my own use, I've found around 40 degrees to be the sweet spot where you still get consistency without pushing things too far. So it's not about printing as low as possible. It's about finding that balance between reliability and efficiency. If you do want to check this plate out for yourself, I've left a link in the description. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it does help support the channel. And if you're interested in this kind of testing, I've actually got the glacier plate coming up next. So keep an eye out for that. And if you found this helpful, a like and a subscribe really helps this channel. And as always, I really appreciate your support. Bye.